Have you ever felt like your muscles just aren't as strong as they used to be? Maybe you wake up at night, restless and unable to fall back asleep, or notice that your memory isn't as sharp as before. These quiet struggles, feeling weak, forgetful, or even a bit invisible, are something many of us experience as we get older. It's easy to think, well, this is just part of aging, but what if that's not the whole story? What if the real reasons behind these challenges are things we can understand and even change? Most people don't realize how much these small, everyday issues can slowly chip away at our happiness and connection with others. They seem minor at first, but left unchecked, they can lead to feeling isolated or disconnected from the world around us. In this video, we're going to explore 8 simple, meaningful ways you can rebuild bonds with family, friends, and your community. Because staying connected isn't just nice, it's essential for your well-being. And by the end, I'll share the one habit that makes the biggest difference in beating loneliness and feeling truly alive again. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Take initiative in reaching out, even with small greetings. It's a quiet Tuesday morning. The sunlight spills through your kitchen window, painting golden patches on the old wooden table where you sit with a cup of coffee. The house feels peaceful, but also a bit too still. Maybe you glance at your phone, scrolling through contacts, noticing names you haven't spoken to in weeks or even months. You might remember the days when calls came more often, or when you'd run into a neighbor for a quick chat on the porch. Now, the silence can sometimes feel louder than any conversation ever did. This feeling isn't unusual. Many older adults find themselves drifting away from regular contact with friends and family, often without realizing how gradual the distance has grown. People are busy, you might tell yourself. Or maybe you assume, if they want to talk, they'll call. So you wait, and each day it gets a little easier to stay quiet, to let another day slip by without reaching out. Before long, what once felt normal, those simple, everyday greetings, becomes a rare event. But here's a question. What if the expectation that others should always reach out first is holding us back? Is it just their responsibility to make the first move, or could we change the pattern ourselves? What if something as small as a simple hello could start to bridge the gap? We often underestimate the power of small gestures. There's a common belief that, as we age, it's natural for friendships to fade or for family to become preoccupied with their own lives. But research shows that regular social connection, no matter how brief, can make a tremendous difference in our mental and physical health. According to the National Institute on Aging, staying socially active can lower the risk of depression, improve cognitive function, and even extend longevity. Yet, the first step to building or rebuilding those bonds often comes down to the smallest, simplest act. Reaching out, even just to say hi. Let's break down why this is so important. Human connection is wired into us. It's as vital as the air we breathe or the food we eat. When we go too long without social contact, our brains interpret it almost like physical pain. Loneliness isn't just an emotional state, it's a real, measurable health risk. Studies show that social isolation in older adults can raise the risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and a weakened immune system. But the good news is that the antidote doesn't have to be complicated or exhausting. It starts with a single, intentional act. So, what can you do, practically and easily, to take initiative and start rebuilding those connections? The answer lies in those small greetings you might once have thought too trivial to matter. Instead of waiting for someone else to make the first move, try picking up the phone and calling a friend, sending a quick text to your grandchildren, or even writing a handwritten note to an old neighbor. You don't need a special reason. Just thinking of you today, hope you're well, is more than enough to brighten someone's day, and it often opens the door to deeper conversation. If technology feels daunting, remember that you don't have to master every app or gadget. Many community centers, libraries, and local organizations offer basic classes on using smartphones or tablets. Even if you prefer the classic way, a mailed card or a cheerful voicemail still carries the warmth of your voice and the thoughtfulness of your effort. Let me share a story. There's a gentleman named Bill from Ohio, now 78, who once found himself going weeks without talking to anyone beyond the grocery store clerk. I thought, what's the point? Everyone's got their own life, he recalls. But then he decided to try something different. Every morning after breakfast, Bill made it his habit to call one friend or relative, even if just for a minute or two. At first, he felt awkward. Sometimes, people didn't pick up. But slowly, the responses started to come. His niece called him back the next day. A neighbor invited him over for coffee. His world, once so quiet, began to fill with laughter, shared stories, and plans for the weekend. That small act, a simple hello, became the key that unlocked a richer, more connected life. And if you're worried that people will think you're bothering them, remember, most folks are delighted to hear from someone who cares. Often, they're feeling the same way you are, hoping for connection but unsure how to start. Your reaching out might be exactly the encouragement they need. So here's my gentle nudge. Today, try sending that text, making that call, or mailing that card. Don't worry about finding the perfect words. Just be yourself. The act of reaching out matters far more than what you say. Over time, these small greetings add up, building a web of connections that strengthens with each message or conversation. You have the power to change the rhythm of your days, one greeting at a time. It may feel small, but it's the first step toward something truly meaningful. Life's greatest joys often come from these simple connections. So don't wait. Take initiative, reach out, and watch how even the smallest hello can begin to bring warmth and color back into your world. 2. Join community groups or clubs for seniors. Imagine this. You walk into your kitchen on a Saturday afternoon. The clock ticks quietly, the TV murmurs in the background, and you notice the calendar, empty, except for a doctor's appointment next week. You think about how, years ago, weekends meant gatherings. Potlucks, card games, church socials, backyard barbecues with neighbors laughing until dusk. But as life has changed, many of those regular gatherings have faded, and you might catch yourself feeling a little left behind. It's easy, in moments like these, to believe that social clubs and community groups are a thing of the past, or maybe something other people do. People who are more outgoing, mobile, or lucky enough to live near family. You might wonder, isn't it too late to join something new? Or, will I fit in if I show up alone? The truth is, many seniors feel this way, quietly longing for a sense of belonging, but not sure where or how to start. But what if joining a community group or club could be the turning point? What if it isn't about being outgoing, but about simply showing up and allowing new connections to form? Research shows that group activities are one of the best ways for older adults to stay mentally sharp, emotionally uplifted, and physically active. According to the American Psychological Association, seniors who participate in regular group events or clubs have lower rates of depression and cognitive decline, and even report feeling younger and more energetic. The science is clear. When we engage in group activities, whether it's a book club, walking group, craft circle, or volunteer team, we stimulate our minds, strengthen our bodies, and nurture our sense of purpose. These groups offer more than just something to do. They provide a lifeline of support and camaraderie that helps us feel seen, valued, and connected. So, how do you get started? The beauty is, there's no one right way. Start with your interests. If you enjoy reading, look for a book club at your local library. Love being outdoors? Many communities have walking or gardening clubs. Interested in giving back? Churches, senior centers, and local nonprofits always need volunteers. Even online, there are virtual meetups and discussion groups where you can connect from the comfort of your living room. If taking the first step feels daunting, remember, everyone was new once. Many clubs and groups are thrilled to welcome newcomers and often go out of their way to make people feel at home. Bring a friend along for support, or call ahead to ask what to expect. Sometimes, just knowing you'll be greeted by a friendly face makes all the difference. Let me tell you about Mary, a 72-year-old widow from Florida. After her husband passed away, she found herself spending most days alone, her world shrinking little by little. She missed the sound of voices in her home and the feeling of being needed. Her daughter encouraged her to check out the senior center nearby, where a quilting club met every Thursday. At first, Mary hesitated, worried she'd be the odd one out. But with a little nudge, she decided to give it a try. She was nervous as she walked through the doors, hands shaking a bit as she introduced herself. To her surprise, the group welcomed her with open arms. Soon, she was sharing patterns, trading stories, and even teaching newcomers the tricks her mother had taught her. What started as a tentative step out of loneliness became the highlight of her week, and the friendship she formed quickly spread beyond the quilting table to coffee dates and weekend outings. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Stories like Mary's are everywhere. Seniors who found new purpose, laughter, and even adventure just by joining a club or group. You don't have to be the life of the party or have a big circle of friends to belong. All it takes is a little courage and the willingness to walk through the door, real or virtual. And if you're thinking, what if I don't know where to look? Start local. Call your nearest senior center, library, or place of worship and ask about group activities or clubs. Many towns have community newsletters or websites that list upcoming events, and your local YMCA or recreation center often hosts programs for older adults, from gentle exercise classes to arts workshops. If mobility or health keeps you at home, look for online groups on platforms like Facebook or Meetup, or join virtual classes offered by universities and nonprofits. Even pen pal programs and phone call check-ins can spark meaningful connections. Here's what I hope you'll remember. You deserve community, and there's a group out there waiting for you. It's never too late to try something new, to meet new friends, or to rediscover a sense of belonging. The first step is always the hardest, but the rewards are worth it. A fuller calendar, a lighter heart, and a life colored by laughter and shared stories. So, if you're feeling hesitant, know that you're not alone. Take that first step, however small. You might just find that the group or club you join will open the door to some of the most joyful, supportive moments of this season of your life. The world is waiting to welcome you back, one gathering at a time. 3. Use technology to connect with family and friends. It's a typical evening. You finish your dinner and settle into your favorite armchair, glancing at old photo albums stacked on the side table. Maybe your grandchildren live across the country, or your closest friends have moved to warmer climates. The phone rarely rings these days, and even when it does, the calls seem shorter. It's easy to feel that the world is moving on without you, and sometimes it's tempting to close up and accept this as a normal part of aging. But what if that loneliness you sometimes feel isn't because people don't care, but simply because everyone's way of connecting has changed? What if, instead of waiting for the world to come to you, you could reach out and bridge that gap with just a tap or a click? Many of us grew up in an era where a handwritten letter, a neighbor's knock, or a rotary phone were the mainstays of connection. The idea of using smartphones, tablets, or computers might seem foreign or even a little intimidating. Technology is for young folks, you might think. Or maybe you worry you'll make mistakes, press the wrong button, or look silly. But here's the truth. Technology isn't just for the young. It's for anyone with a story to share, a family to love, and a desire to connect. Let's take a step back and look at why embracing technology matters. According to the Pew Research Center, nearly 3 out of 4 seniors in the United States now own a smartphone or use the internet regularly. Studies show that older adults who connect online experience less loneliness and report better overall mental well-being. Video calls, in particular, have been shown to reduce feelings of isolation and keep relationships strong, even when loved ones are far away. So, what does this mean for you? It means that, with just a little patience and curiosity, you can open a window to the world. See your grandson's new puppy in California, join your niece's birthday celebration in New York, or simply share a cup of coffee over FaceTime with your sister who lives 2 states over. The possibilities are endless, and the technology is more user-friendly than ever before. You might wonder, but where do I start? The best place is with something simple and familiar. If you already have a smartphone, explore the calling or texting features first. Ask a grandchild or neighbor to show you how to make a video call using apps like FaceTime, Zoom, or WhatsApp. Many public libraries, senior centers, and community colleges offer free or low-cost classes specifically designed for seniors to learn these skills in a supportive, patient environment. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Everyone learns at their own pace, and most people are delighted to help. Remember, technology is just a tool. The real magic comes from using it to share your warmth, wisdom, and humor with the people who love you. Let me tell you about Frank, a retired teacher from Arizona. When the pandemic hit, Frank found himself feeling cut off from his friends at church and his family scattered across the country. At first, he resisted the idea of using a tablet his daughter sent him. He didn't want to bother with gadgets. But with his granddaughter's gentle coaching over the phone, Frank learned to use Zoom. Suddenly, his Sunday mornings were filled with friendly faces from his Bible study group, and he started joining weekly trivia nights with his kids and grandkids online. What surprised him most wasn't just how easy it became, but how much younger and more connected he felt. Laughing, sharing stories, and even singing happy birthday over the screen. Stories like Frank's are more common than you might think. Seniors all over America are discovering that learning a new skill, especially one that brings you closer to the people you love, can be empowering, even life-changing. Whether it's sending daily photos to your children, joining a virtual book club, or just sharing a smile with an old friend through a video chat, technology has the power to bring joy, comfort, and a sense of belonging. If you're still feeling hesitant, remember, it's never too late to learn. Start small, celebrate each step, and keep your sense of humor handy. Nobody gets it all right the first time, and every oops moment is just another story to share. So here's my encouragement to you. Don't let fear or unfamiliarity keep you from reaching out. Pick up that phone, tablet, or computer and give it a try. You'll be amazed at the doors it opens, and the hearts it warms. The people who love you are just a tap away, waiting to see your smile, hear your stories, and stay connected, no matter the miles between you. Embrace this new way of connecting, and let it bring light and laughter into your days. The world isn't moving on without you. It's waiting for you to join in a whole new way. 4. Open up and share true feelings with loved ones or professionals. It's late evening, and you're sitting quietly in your favorite chair. The house is peaceful, but there's a heaviness in the air, a feeling that something is weighing on your mind, though it's hard to name. Maybe you find yourself thinking about old friends who have drifted away, or loved ones you've lost. Perhaps worries about health, finances, or simply getting older fill your thoughts. You keep these feelings tucked away, telling yourself that it's better not to burden anyone else, that everyone has their troubles. If you're like many seniors, you may have spent a lifetime being the strong one, shouldering worries in silence, believing that talking about pain or sadness is somehow a sign of weakness. But what if holding everything inside isn't protecting you after all? What if sharing your feelings, your fears, your grief, even your joys, isn't a burden to others, but a bridge to deeper understanding and connection? Could it be that by opening up, you actually become stronger, and even help those you love feel less alone themselves? For generations, many Americans, especially those who grew up during hard times, were taught to keep a stiff upper lip and not dwell on what can't be changed. But science tells a different story. Experts at Harvard and the Mayo Clinic agree. Expressing your true emotions can relieve stress, improve mental health, and even support your physical well-being. Bottling up feelings, on the other hand, can raise blood pressure, worsen anxiety, and lead to depression. Most importantly, staying silent can make us feel more isolated when what we truly need is to feel heard and understood. Sometimes, the hardest part is knowing where to begin. You might wonder, will my children worry if I tell them how I'm feeling? Or, what if I can't find the right words? But being open doesn't mean giving a speech or spilling every secret. It can start with something as simple as, I've been feeling a bit lonely lately, or I miss the way things used to be. These words, spoken honestly and gently, can open the door to a conversation, a hug, or even just a comforting moment of shared silence. If you find it difficult to talk with family or friends, consider reaching out to a professional. There's no shame in speaking with a counselor, a pastor, or your doctor about what's on your mind. More and more seniors are discovering that having a trusted, non-judgmental person to listen can make all the difference. Many communities now offer free or affordable counseling specifically for older adults, and some programs even offer home visits or phone calls if getting out is tough. Let me share a story about a woman named Eleanor, a retired nurse from Pennsylvania. After her husband passed away, Eleanor tried to stay strong for her children and grandchildren. She cooked, cleaned, and kept up a cheerful front, but inside, she felt like she was falling apart. Months went by, and her sleep grew restless, her appetite faded, and she withdrew from friends and family. One afternoon, her granddaughter found her sitting alone on the porch, quietly crying. Instead of brushing her off, her granddaughter sat beside her and said, "Grandma, it's okay to miss Grandpa. You don't have to pretend for us." That moment, small as it was, became a turning point. Eleanor started to talk about her grief, first with her family, then with a counselor at her church. She found that sharing her pain didn't make it bigger, it made it lighter. Over time, she reconnected with friends, joined a support group, and even began to smile and laugh again. Eleanor's story is not unique. Many seniors discover, often to their surprise, that sharing what's in their hearts brings them closer to those around them. Sometimes, when you open up, you permit others to do the same, to admit their worries and hopes, and to walk with you through life's ups and downs. If you're reading this and feel hesitant, know that it's normal to be nervous. Start small. Choose someone you trust, and share just a little. You might write a letter, leave a note, or simply ask someone to sit with you for a few minutes. Let your feelings come in their own time. There's no rush or right way. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Here's what I want you to remember. You are not alone, and your feelings matter. By opening your heart, even just a little, you invite love, comfort, and understanding into your life. You show those around you that it's okay to be human, to need support, and to lean on one another. So tonight, if you find yourself carrying a heavy heart, consider letting someone in. Share a memory, a worry, or even just a hope for tomorrow. The people who love you may not have all the answers, but they want to walk beside you. And if you ever feel overwhelmed, remember, help is always available, and asking for it is a sign of strength, not weakness. Your story isn't finished yet, and the next chapter can be brighter, with a little courage, a little honesty, and the warmth of true connection. 5. Make a habit of regular social activities. It's Friday afternoon, and the sun is casting long shadows across the lawn. Maybe you find yourself glancing at the clock, wondering how you'll fill the next few hours. There was a time, perhaps not so long ago, when your days were a whirlwind of family dinners, work commitments, and neighborhood gatherings. Now, with the kids grown and friends scattered, you might notice that your calendar feels emptier. A few days can slip by in a quiet blur, each much like the last. It's easy to accept this gentle slowing down as just part of aging, and before you know it, whole weeks can pass without any real social interaction. But is this really how things have to be? Does getting older mean saying goodbye to the rhythms of shared laughter, lively conversations, and the feeling of belonging that only regular social activities can bring? What if, instead of growing more isolated, you could reclaim the joy of looking forward to something, and someone, each week? Here's something we often overlook. Maintaining a habit of social activity isn't just nice, it's vital for our well-being. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that older adults who engage in regular social activities have lower rates of depression, slower cognitive decline, and even improved physical health. It's not just about having fun. Your mind and body both benefit from the stimulation of good company and shared purpose. Social interaction keeps the brain nimble, strengthens the immune system, and can help ward off loneliness and anxiety. But how do you bring this habit into your life if it slipped away, or if you never really had it to begin with? The good news is, there's no single right way to be social. The secret is to find something you genuinely enjoy and make it a regular part of your routine. Maybe that's attending Sunday services or a weekly Bible study at your church. Perhaps it's signing up for a painting class, joining a local choir, or meeting friends for coffee at the same diner every Thursday. Even a standing phone call with a loved one or a neighborly walk around the block can count. The key is consistency, something to anticipate, something that becomes a treasured rhythm in your life. Let me tell you about Sam, a 70-year-old retired mechanic from Indiana. After his wife passed, Sam felt lost in the stillness of his empty house. Days blended until his daughter, seeing how much he missed companionship, encouraged him to join a local bocce ball group. Sam hadn't played bocce in years, but he decided to give it a shot. The first few weeks, he was quiet, just listening to the banter and watching the games. But as the months rolled on, he found himself cracking jokes, sharing stories, and even inviting some teammates over for homemade chili. His Tuesday afternoons became the highlight of his week. That simple, regular commitment to a group changed everything. Sam started sleeping better, felt more energetic, and even found himself smiling more. Proof that sometimes the smallest habits can have the biggest impact. Maybe bocce isn't your thing, and that's perfectly fine. The possibilities are endless. Try volunteering at a food pantry, attending a senior fitness class, or joining a book club at your library. Many communities offer free or low-cost activities through senior centers, local colleges, and places of worship. If you prefer to stay close to home, you could organize a potluck or movie night with neighbors, or participate in virtual gatherings and classes online. The goal isn't to fill every day with activity, but to have at least one regular social touchpoint, a reason to get up, get dressed, and look forward to seeing familiar faces. If the idea of stepping into a new group feels intimidating, remember that everyone started somewhere. Most people are grateful to welcome someone new and understand that it takes courage to show up. Don't be afraid to ask a friend to come along the first time, or to try several different activities before finding one that feels like home. And if mobility or health are concerns, look for accessible options. Many organizations now offer transportation or virtual participation. Here's my gentle encouragement. Don't let the days slip by in silence. You have stories to share, laughter to offer, and a spirit that deserves the company of others. Making regular social activities a habit isn't just about filling your schedule. It's about filling your life with meaning, connection, and joy. Every new handshake, every familiar smile, is a reminder that you still belong, that your presence matters. So this week, take one small step. Sign up for a group, accept an invitation, or reach out to join something new. Let it become a thread that weaves through your routine, giving shape and color to each day. Over time, you may find that what began as a simple activity grows into a cherished part of your life. A habit that helps you feel vibrant, valued, and truly alive. 6. Spend time caring for pets or gardening. It's early morning, and the sun is just beginning to warm the porch where you sit with a cup of tea. Nearby, a soft rustling comes from the garden or a gentle nudge from a furry friend. Maybe you've noticed how the days feel quieter lately, how the house sometimes seems a little too still. For many seniors, moments like these bring a mix of comfort and a subtle ache, a longing for companionship, a wish for purpose, or simply a desire to feel connected to the world outside their walls. You might have thought that as we age, such simple joys fade or become less important. But what if spending time caring for a pet or tending a garden isn't just a pastime or hobby, but a powerful way to nurture your heart, mind, and spirit? What if these everyday acts of care could help you feel more alive, less lonely, and deeply connected in ways you never expected? Science tells us this is true. Numerous studies show that pet ownership reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and boosts feelings of happiness. Similarly, gardening has been linked to improved mood, increased physical activity, and even sharper cognitive function. The act of nurturing, whether it's a loyal dog, a curious cat, or a patch of vibrant flowers, feeds a fundamental human need to care and be cared for. So, how can you bring this into your life? If you have a pet, you already know the comfort of a wagging tail or the soothing presence of a purring companion. Daily walks, gentle play, or even quiet moments of companionship can brighten your day and give a rhythm to your routine. If you don't have a pet, consider whether adopting a small animal, like a goldfish or a bird, might be a manageable way to start. Gardening, too, is wonderfully accessible. Whether you have a sprawling backyard or a sunny windowsill, planting seeds, watering sprouts, and watching your garden grow can be a meditation, a way to reconnect with nature and yourself. Even simple herbs on a kitchen ledge bring fresh scents and tastes that delight the senses. Let me share a story about Helen, a 75-year-old widow from Oregon. After her husband passed, Helen found herself feeling adrift. The house felt empty, and the silence was heavy. One day, her granddaughter gave her a small pot of lavender. Helen took to watering it daily, marveling as tiny green shoots turned into fragrant blooms. Soon, she planted tomatoes and herbs, and her garden grew into a little oasis. Alongside this, she adopted a gentle rescue dog named Max. Their morning walks became a cherished ritual, time spent outside, breathing fresh air, sharing quiet companionship. Helen says these small acts gave her back a sense of purpose and joy, helped her feel connected, and even inspired her to join a local garden club and dog walkers group, making new friends along the way. Stories like Helen's remind us that caring for pets or gardens is more than a hobby. It's a path to healing, connection, and daily delight. If you're thinking about starting, don't worry about having a perfect green thumb or a lifetime of pet experience. Begin small. Maybe try planting a few easy care plants, like succulents or herbs, or volunteer at a local animal shelter or community garden to see if it feels right. You'll find the gentle routine of caring, watering, feeding, a grooming brings structure and meaning, and the unconditional love from pets or the peaceful growth of plants brings comfort and companionship. Here's a gentle encouragement. Nurture life, and it will nurture you back. Whether it's the wag of a tail, the soft rustle of leaves, or the first bloom of a flower, these moments are reminders that life is still full of beauty and connection. So today, consider inviting a little life into your home, a furry friend, a budding plant, or both. Let the simple acts of care become your daily ritual, your source of joy, and your bridge to the world around you. In these small, loving moments, you'll find not just companionship, but renewed spirit and hope. 7. Volunteer to help the community or others. It's a quiet morning, and you're sipping coffee by the window, watching the neighborhood slowly come to life. Sometimes, you might catch yourself wondering, what else is there for me to do? After decades of raising families, working, and caring for others, it's natural to feel that your days have settled into a gentle routine. Yet beneath that calm, there might be a restlessness, a yearning for something meaningful, a way to make a difference, or simply to feel needed again. Many seniors feel this quietly, unsure if volunteering is something for them, or if they have the energy, time, or skills to contribute. You might think, I'm too old for that, or someone younger should do it. But what if giving your time and heart to others could not only brighten someone else's day, but also transform your own? What if the simple act of helping others could fill your days with purpose, joy, and connection? The truth is, volunteering has been shown time and again to improve mental and physical health. Studies from organizations like AARP reveal that seniors who volunteer regularly experience lower rates of depression, better mobility, and a greater sense of life satisfaction. Helping others releases endorphins, the body's natural, feel-good chemicals, and fosters a deep sense of belonging. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. So, how can you find your place to give back? The beauty of volunteering is that it comes in many forms and sizes, suited to all abilities and interests. Maybe you have a knack for baking and could help out at a local food bank's bake sale. Perhaps your skills in organizing could support a community fundraiser or library event. If you love children, mentoring or reading to kids at a nearby school might be fulfilling. And if mobility is limited, phone check-ins or writing letters to isolated seniors or veterans can be just as impactful. Take the story of James, a 68-year-old retired postal worker from Michigan. After leaving his job, James found himself feeling a bit lost. His days lacked the structure and sense of accomplishment he once had. One day, a friend invited him to volunteer at a local community garden that supplies fresh produce to food pantries. James decided to give it a try. Not only did he enjoy the physical activity, but he also found joy in growing food that helped families in need. Over time, James built friendships with other volunteers, started leading workshops on gardening, and felt more energized than he had in years. He says, "Volunteering gave me a reason to get up in the morning and made me feel like I was still contributing to the world." This kind of transformation isn't rare. Many seniors discover that volunteering is not just about giving. It's about receiving warmth, friendship, and a renewed sense of identity. It reminds us that no matter our age, we all have something valuable to offer. If you're wondering how to start, consider reaching out to local organizations like senior centers, hospitals, libraries, places of worship, or charitable groups. Most communities welcome volunteers of all ages and are happy to help find a role that suits your schedule and interests. Online platforms like Volunteer Match also make it easy to search for opportunities near you. Remember, volunteering doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. Even an hour a week can make a difference for you and those you help. And the benefits are real. Increased social interaction, improved mood, a sense of accomplishment, and the simple joy that comes from kindness. So here's my invitation. Consider sharing your time and talents with your community. Whether it's sorting books at the library, preparing meals at a shelter, or making phone calls to check on neighbors, your efforts matter. You have a lifetime of experience, wisdom, and care that can brighten lives, starting with your own. By stepping into the role of a volunteer, you not only enrich others' lives but also discover new friendships, new passions, and a renewed sense of purpose. It's a beautiful way to stay active, stay connected, and keep your spirit vibrant. Take that first step. Reach out, say yes, and watch how giving back fills your days with meaning, laughter, and heart. The community is waiting to welcome you, and you might just find that the greatest gift is the one you give yourself. 8. Care for mental and physical health to maintain life energy. It's early morning, and the soft light filters through your window as you take a deep breath and stretch your arms overhead. Some days, you might wake up feeling energized and ready to greet the world. Other mornings, your body feels stiff and your mind a bit foggy. You may notice small changes, more aches than before, moments when your memory slips, or times when your energy just isn't what it used to be. These are familiar challenges many of us face as we grow older, and it's easy to accept them as just part of getting old. But what if there's more to the story? What if taking care of your mental and physical health could not only help you feel better each day, but also keep you vibrant, engaged, and connected for years to come? What if the energy you thought was slipping away could be renewed and even strengthened? It's a common misconception that slowing down means giving up. The reality is that thoughtful, consistent care of your body and mind is the key to living fully and joyfully in this season of life. Research from the National Institute on Aging and other health experts confirms that seniors who maintain a balanced routine of physical activity, mental stimulation, and self-care experience better mobility, sharper thinking, and greater emotional resilience. So, how can you nurture your mental and physical health in ways that feel manageable and meaningful? It starts with small, gentle habits, like taking a daily walk around the neighborhood, practicing deep breathing or meditation to calm your mind, and nourishing your body with wholesome, satisfying meals. These simple acts weave together to create a strong foundation for energy and well-being. Consider the story of Grace, a 74-year-old retired teacher from Vermont. Grace noticed that after a few years of inactivity, she felt more tired, forgetful, and disconnected from the people around her. Instead of resigning herself to this new normal, she decided to make small changes. Each morning, she began with 5 minutes of stretching, followed by a brisk walk to her mailbox and back. She joined a gentle yoga class designed for seniors, which helped her flexibility and balance. Grace also committed to reading a new book each month and keeping a journal of her thoughts and gratitude. Over time, she felt her energy return, her mind sharpen, and her spirits lift. Best of all, she reconnected with friends through the yoga class and a local book club, feeling more alive and joyful than she had in years. Grace's journey is a wonderful example of how caring for both mind and body can transform life's later chapters. You don't have to do it all at once or perfectly. The key is to listen to your body and mind, be kind to yourself, and take consistent, doable steps that bring you joy and strength. If you're wondering where to begin, start by identifying one small habit that feels right for you. It could be as simple as adding an extra glass of water a day, practicing mindful breathing for a few minutes, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Look for activities that feel good and fit your lifestyle. Remember, the goal isn't perfection but progress and pleasure. Mental health is just as important as physical health. Staying socially engaged, pursuing hobbies, learning new skills, and talking openly about your feelings all support brain health and emotional well-being. Don't hesitate to seek support if you're feeling overwhelmed, whether from a trusted friend, family member, or health professional. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Here's a gentle encouragement. Your body and mind are precious partners in this journey of life. Treat them with care, patience, and respect. The energy you invest in yourself will ripple outward, helping you savor moments with loved ones, enjoy your passions, and embrace each day with gratitude and hope. So today, take a deep breath and choose one small way to care for yourself. Over time, those little choices add up to a life filled with vitality, connection, and joy. Your best days are still ahead, fueled by the love and care you give yourself. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to take a moment and reflect on what you've heard today. Rebuilding bonds and avoiding isolation isn't about grand gestures or huge changes. It's about those small, simple steps that bring us closer to others and ourselves. Whether it's reaching out with a friendly hello, joining a community group, embracing technology, opening up about your feelings, making social activities a habit, caring for a pet or garden, volunteering, or nurturing your mental and physical health, each of these actions can light up your days in meaningful ways. Remember, you are never alone on this path. Some people care deeply about you, and communities are waiting with open arms. Taking that first step might feel challenging, but every journey begins with a single move forward. You have the strength, wisdom, and heart to create connection and joy in your life right now. So I encourage you, pick one thing you've learned today and bring it into your life this week. Maybe it's making a call you've been putting off, or signing up for a local club, or simply sharing how you feel with someone you trust. Small steps can lead to big changes. Thank you for sharing your time with me. If this video touched your heart or sparked an idea, please leave a comment below to share what you'll try next. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so we can continue walking this journey together. Your story matters. Your connection matters. And your best days are still ahead.